It's Josh Johnson in 3D!
Ooh, I'm in 3D. Good popcorn.
I flew in today, which was, I got to the airport and I was like, all right, people said it would be bad, but I don't know if it'll be that bad. You know what I mean? And then I got there and I was like, they didn't tell me everybody would be here. They didn't tell me the whole city had a flight today. There was not room in the airport. I get to the airport and the sliding doors open and there's just somebody standing there like, no, you good where you are, just, it'll move along soon. I had everything I was supposed to have, went ahead and got in line. And it moved. TSA was doing their best. The line was moving. It was just so many people, I didn't know where we were going. Do you know what I mean? Like, we were in such a long line that the end of the line could have been a slaughterhouse. I have no idea. Like, this could have been, I was like, this must be how sheep feel. This is crazy. I don't even see where the TSA, they might be leading us out of the airport. And then while I was in line, I witnessed a couple of tragedies. Part of it is that, okay, I'm trying to figure out how to put this. You can't give everybody the panic advice. Do you know what I mean? You clearly have to get to the airport earlier than you've been getting to the airport. But when you say on the news that everyone should get there at least 4 hours earlier, people who don't even have a flight that day will show up and be like, they said to get here early. Your ticket won't even scan today, sir, because your flight is not today, sir. And now you've made everyone late. Now it's become a self-fulfilling prophecy because then you get there and there are people who do not have a flight until like now. I'm here. Like, there are people who didn't have a flight for like 16 hours, so they're like, I don't want to miss it. So it's like, now you're in the way of the people who actually have a flight at 8 a.m. So now people are missing their flight for people who don't fly today. So then none of the planes need to go. It was terrible. No one knew which line to stand in because there were 4 separate lines. There was like general, regular, there was pre-check, there was like sky priority, and then there was the touchless. And they were all long. But they just had different things happen when you got to security. But they were all incredibly long. And so no one knows where they're standing. There were some people that were like, I think I'm in the touchless line. I'm about to find out. What a terrible game show to play. Will you or won't you make the funeral? The line was so long. Look, it was early. I've tried to fly out as early as possible so I can make it. And so I was there very early. It was so early that I know this probably didn't happen the way it happened in my head. But when I tell you I got in line, and I saw a baby. And then about halfway through the line, I'm sure that was the baby's brother, but the baby was gone. And so now I'm like, wait. It was like in The Lion King when they just gave Simba those extra 10 years real quick in the middle of Hakuna Matata. And he wasn't fully grown yet, but you were like, all right, that was a leap. Oh, it was bad. It was very bad. People losing their patience. the people. There's something about screaming at the airport where not only does nobody take you seriously, but no one comes to help you. Like if somebody busts out screaming on the street, some people might stop and stare. Some people might come over to help. Screaming at the airport, you aren't sure. You're like, okay, is this a scream out of like you, the first person to notice something, and we should all be screaming? Or are you just a future no-fly list individual? This dude screamed out of frustration. Nothing had happened to him. He's just been in line, I guess, since yesterday. And he goes to scream, but the scream, it's unfortunate. I hate when people have a funny scream because they're in distress. You don't want to laugh at someone in distress, but it's too good. This man was over here in line. Nothing happened to him. The line just not moving. And he goes, every once in a while you read a story like the story of the 300 Spartans at Thermopylae and everything. And in a story like that, they'll talk about how Leonidas, defiant till the end, attacking Xerxes' army and let out a roar that was reminiscent of Hercules. And then you have Dave. And Dave has a roar let out from 2.5 hours of waiting. Not exactly the same as being boxed in by a foreign army. And when he lets out his screech, it's not so much reminiscent of Hercules as a bird that flew into a window. It was the worst thing that happened. Was we were in line and then I was waiting. When I got there, when I'm finally inside, I think I'm in the touchless line. I think I'm in the touchless line because a very, very, very tired individual pointed at that line and said, "That's the touchless line." And I was like, "You're not even looking at the line, but I'm gonna get in the line because you've probably been doing this since 2 a.m. I get in the touchless line, and then I hear this person that works for the airline scream out. She screams, and this isn't like, ah! This is like a real scream. She's like, oh, what happened? And there was a dog, and I hope it was a dog. There was a dog poop on the floor. I know. And there wasn't a person with a dog in sight. And I was like, see, this is why you gotta be vigilant. Terrorism is among us. This is crazy. TSA should be allowed to tackle whoever did this. And so then, this person is screaming like, oh, what happened? Oh, no, okay. Then she turns to the line. Because this is like in between where people drop off their oversized baggage and where the touchless line starts. A line that never goes as far, so it's longer than it's ever been before. And so she's just like, okay, can y'all help me? Turns to the people in touchless line. Can y'all help me? If anybody's passing over here, can y'all just warn them, let them know? I'm gonna go get everything I need to clean this up. So then she walks away, and admittedly, all of us were like, we're probably not going to do that. No, I'm not trying to be rude. It's just, we probably not. If the line goes, I go. I don't live here, right? And sure enough, because it's frantic and because there's 4 lines, it didn't take long. Took about 20 seconds. And this man over here on his phone too, yelling at somebody. He's like, what's wrong? Oh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about the flights at 10? It was supposed to be at 1. I'm at the airport right now. I can't. And drags his suitcase through all of it. And so we as a collective in line turn and we're like, ooh, that is our bad. That's why you shouldn't have trusted me, because I'm over here thinking about other stuff like that. And this woman that works for the airline walks back over. And yells out, what happened? To be fair to her, she was gone for 20 seconds. We let her down immediately. Oh, we let her down quick. She turns and looks at us. And we as a group are like, that's really our bad. Like, we shouldn't have, we should have done more, we should have done something. Uh-oh. And then she was like, well, look, okay. And she had the little sandwich sign that's like do not cross wet floor, whatever. And she was like, I have to go get the mop. Can you please, if anybody walks over here, just warn them, let them know, right? And once again, we were like, you couldn't trust us the first time, so I don't know why it makes you think. But sure, yeah. And so she walks away. And this is the thing. I've been in line for a while now. The first 10 minutes I was in the line, it was actually moving pretty good. Then, for like 10, 15 minutes, it didn't move at all. And that's when this happened. But then, almost as soon as she left, I don't know if they opened up another lane, I don't know what happened, but like the line started moving again, and really moving to the point where I was like, oh, this is great. I'm covering so much ground. But I'm in line with everybody else, and the line starts moving, and once again, I don't live in this spot so that I move when the line moves. And it didn't take long, I forgot about it. That's in my past. I forget about it until I hear somebody yell. And they yell like, their scream wasn't like, ah, it was like, what? Because they fell. Yeah. No, I know. And then I hear her. I hear her walk back up to the spot. I hear her yell, "Who are you?" Wait. I understand. You're at work. You're doing your best to get through your day. A day that's been made infinitely harder by how many people are here and how nervous, anxious, upset they already are. The day just started. And you're just trying to do your job. And then out of nowhere, wow, something that should never be here. But you know what? You, being the good employee that you are, you try. I'm just going to take care of it. I'm not even going to think about how I shouldn't have to do this at all. I'm just going to try to take care of it. So you turn to your fellow human beings. Like, hey, other citizens, could you please have the humanity to, if someone crosses the path of this thing, which is highly likely, everyone is at the airport today. All 9 million New Yorkers are here today. Just yell out something and then you come back and your fellow humans have let you down. there's now tire tracks. And so you're like, you know what? I'm still gonna keep a good attitude. Let me put this down so hopefully more people don't come across everything. Let me go get the mop and the water I shouldn't even have to get because this is not my job, right? And then you come back and there's a guy there now. Because I should back up for a second. Not only did this guy scream, he did a scream I'd never heard before. Because he screamed the way that you heard, oh, whoa, whoa, that's the fall. That wasn't the scream. The scream. Wait, you got, okay, don't make me laugh, Okay, wait. Because to hear the scream, y'all gotta be silent. You gotta be absolutely quiet because you're gonna hear it the way I heard it. Because I was far away. I've never heard anything like this before because it was quiet, but it was loud. But just, okay, wait, shh. Perfect. He went, You know that pre-scream before scream where you just come into the realization of what has happened. It's a lot like a kid, like when a kid get hurt and they're assessing how hurt they are, so they start making the faces, but no noise is coming out of them yet. They're like on mute for a second. It's like if you hurt your little brother or your cousin or something, and then you see him make face, and you know you have 12 seconds to be like, I'm sorry, no. I'm so sorry. This man slipped. Whoa! And then as soon as he realized, he went. The quiet whisper of realization. No, it was terrible. It was terrible. Incredible long line. Children were growing up. And then you finally get to the front, and poor TSA is over here not getting paid off and on. Like they go maybe a couple weeks getting paid if they're lucky, and then they're not paid again. Like, crack doesn't even have this job insecurity. Like, this is crazy. You work for the government, and then you're getting paid sometimes, and then you're going long stints without getting paid, and then we got your back pay, but you still had to live life while you were waiting for the back pay. And the entire time, you have to deal with us. Listen to me. We, as Americans, for the sake of not just TSA, but ourselves, we as a country have got to learn what metal is. We have got to learn what actual metal is, because these TSA workers look so exhausted because from the time they start their shift, you have people trying to walk through the metal detector. And as soon as it goes off, they're like, oh! But then they lift their sleeve and they got 6 watches on. You didn't think that was gonna trigger something? No. It's unacceptable. If I was TSA, I would remove the metal detector and just make it a magnet. Forget to take your belt off, you walk through, yeah, you know what I mean? Y'all wasting everybody's time. Oh. No. It's insane. And then there's there's like the indignance when your bag gets pulled. Oh, when people's bag gets pulled. It's tough. I've watched a lot of people try to get away with stuff. This is the thing. When I first started traveling, it was hard to know like whose side to be on in some of those instances because truly it would be like, okay, you're not supposed to have more than 3 ounces, but this thing literally says 3.2 ounces. Like before they made travel size toiletries and stuff, people would just be going through it at the airport. And TSA would have to be the bad guy. They have to be like, you can't bring 2 gallons of shampoo with you. And people are mad at you because they're like, why did you need to take the shampoo? This is my special medicated shampoo. This is the only one that works with my hair. If I wash my hair with any other shampoo, my hair catches on fire. And you over here taking my only good shampoo. What's wrong with you? You the devil? Why would you take my shampoo like this? You love doing this, don't you? You love taking people's shampoo so their hair catches on fire. And then you're like, yeah, look, I'm sorry. You cannot bring 2 gallons of shampoo. The people who I have watched argue with TSA, it's initially when I was like in my early 20s and I was flying for some of the first times I had flown, I'd see people really try to like haggle where they're like, I know it's not supposed to be over like 3 ounces, but it says 3.2 on the bottle, can't I just? And they're like, no. Like, I understand getting annoyed when somebody's like a stickler, but when I tell you, I've traveled so much now, I've seen people try to bring to a flight, they give the reason, and the reason never makes it better. There was a dude who actually tried to fly with a sword. And I'm over here getting my suitcase, getting like my backpack, everything, passing by. And so I didn't get the full story. Honestly, I should have stayed and been nosier, but I didn't get the full story. All I heard as I passed was him go, I'm not gonna do anything with it. And it's like that. You can't possibly think that is what they need to hear. Because I've been stopped before, and it's never fun. Because sometimes it's just you like forgetting that you have water in your backpack, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, throw it out, whatever, you know what I mean? Especially if you're in a hurry, you're like, oh, what is it? What could I possibly? And getting stopped at TSA is a lot like getting an offender bender. Because initially, right when the thing happens, you don't think it could possibly be your fault. Do you know what I mean? Just like when 2 cars make slight contact, just that little bump, it's like, oh, why would you stop when I was going? Oh, just because the light's red. The light. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. When your bag gets flagged, you're like, oh, what? What is it? What? Do you hate fun? Is there fun in there? And then you realize it's your fault, and then you're like, oh, well, my bad, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put 6 water bottles in there, that's my... Because I've never had the boldness to be indignant with, I've also never packed a sword, but I've never had the boldness to be like, what? Somebody did 9/11, so now you think I'm gonna do something with my sword. That's a stretch. They didn't even have swords at 9/11. I got stopped by TSA one time. This was very embarrassing. It's terrible. I got stopped by TSA. They flagged my bag, and the whole time, they asked the questions: anything sharp, anything like I should be aware of? I'm like, no. And this time, I was genuinely mystified at what they could, because I didn't pack any merch. I didn't pack, like I literally just had clothes in there. I think even my toothbrush and stuff was in my backpack, not my suitcase. And so I was like, no, I'm like curious with them. And then sometimes when you get stopped, you can see the screen, and sometimes you can't. Sometimes they're very secretive, and they press the screen. I didn't know it was a touch screen. Press the screen. And I go in the bag, and this time I could actually see the screen. And so I saw something I didn't even recognize, and he turns the screen to me even more, and he's like, "Are those brass knuckles?" And I was like, "Sir, I don't own brass knuckles." And he's like, "Then what am I looking at here? Like, what is this?" And now I'm freaking out a little bit because this is like the most someone's really like interrogated me at TSA. And I'm like, if it's in the bag, it's yours. You can't just be like, "Oh, it's not my gun." Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's in the bag, it's yours. And so now in my head, I'm like, ooh, I wonder if I like bumped into somebody in security and then they like Ocean's 11 put some brass knuckles in my bag or something. I don't know what's going on. Somebody's trying to jam me up. I'm glad I didn't panic. There was a part of me, look. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty soft. So like, as soon as they had 3 questions for me, I was like, I didn't do it. Like, and so then he opens my bag, flips the bag open, and goes right to where he saw the knuckles. And, I was devastated. Because they weren't brass knuckles, just like I thought they weren't brass knuckles. But I forgot they were in my bag. They were toe spreaders. Look. Look, before you judge. Look, I've been working on my feet all my life. All right, I've been through a lot. At one point I had prescription shoes. Just trying to make sure my toes don't just keep getting tight and collapsing into each other and become one toe at the end of my foot. So at night, sometimes I put the toe spreaders on to remind the toes, hey, each one of you is an individual. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, those are. Yeah, those are my practice knuckles, dog. Like, because I know you can't fly with the brass ones, and so I put on the, you know what I mean, squish, squish. You know what I'm saying? I used to work at a grocery store. I've worked at a couple grocery stores. I've had a bunch of like odd jobs in my life and everything. And what I appreciate about those odd jobs was odd hours. Because then you always left your shift with some sort of story. Something happened because you were out when no one should be out. There was one time I got off work. It was 3 a.m. I got off work, and I'm walking out, and I see this woman, and she was clearly from the situation. A lady of the evening. And I witnessed this lady of the evening quit. It's a very special gift to be able to see someone quit their job, because quitting is so liberating. Quitting takes you to a place because a lot of people don't even think that they can quit their job. You know, they'll work a job, they don't necessarily love it, and then they're getting ready to quit, but they're like, oh, how will I make money? Or what will I do next? Whatever. But then when you finally get the courage to quit, nobody can touch you that day. You know, I've gone to Wendy's before and watched somebody quit. I didn't go for the show, it just happened. I didn't know it was their last day, and they didn't seem to know it was their last day either. But then they just started telling their boss off, and they were on a roll, and they were like, I quit. And I was the only one. But yes, there was a woman outside. I'm walking out of the store, and she was quitting, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm done with you. It's over. I'm finished. I'm not with you anymore. I'm not working with you anymore. I don't want to see you again, right?" And start storming off, right? And this man, who in this situation was clearly her pimp, was also, there's no other way to say it, he was also in a wheelchair, okay? I know, I was surprised too. And so he's following after her, right? And he's furious, and he's saying all the stuff that pimps say, and stuff that pimps say from the movies. Like, he was over here like, how you gonna leave me? I made you what you are, girl. You can't leave me. Get back here. You need to get back here right now and apologize, right? Following after, and she was like, I told you, I'm done. I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. I'm sick of you. I don't even want to look at you again. And then she just keeps storming off, a little faster. So then he started cycling a little faster. It's over here talking about, you sick of me, I'm sick of you too. But you work for me, girl. You can't just walk away from me. You work for me, right? And then she whips around and it's like, I said I don't work for you anymore, right? She got pretty far ahead of him. And I told you, you can't quit. How about that? And she turns around and she said, I can't quit? You said I can't quit? Yeah, you heard me. You can't quit. And then she kicked him in the chest. Not only did she kick him in the chest, and look, I'm telling you what I saw. I am not on the pimp side. I'm just telling you what I saw. She did wait to kick him until they were uphill. Like, shit. Because now he over, I thought he was fast going forward, uphill. This man zoomed backwards. I thought he was gonna go on forever. She just walked off into the night and he was still flying backwards. Till he hit a bus stop. And that was... He had to stop eventually. I don't know what... I watched this documentary that came out. Louis Theroux did it, about the manosphere, right? Yeah, and there's been a lot of praise, a lot of criticism of the documentary. Some people felt like it didn't cover enough or it didn't push enough to expose what these guys were like, and some people, I guess people who are fans of these guys, feel like it's somehow unfair even though it's their words. But what's interesting about this whole ecosystem of online content and how people treat each other in the pursuit of some sort of better life for themselves is that a lot of it is like performing the type of masculinity you think will get you something. You know, like truly these guys are actors. You can see it in the documentary. You also see it in real life. A lot of these dudes aren't acting this way in their personal life. In fact, they interview one of the guys with his girlfriend, and Louis asks the girlfriend, what is it that you like about him? What is it that you see in him? And she specifically said, oh, you know, he's one guy in front of the cameras, but he's a different guy when he's with me. And that should let everybody know something, that this thing is a game to them. It's a performance, you know? And plenty of people, myself included, growing up, going into adulthood, you perform a certain type of masculine. You perform this thing that you think will make people like you. This isn't anything new, you know? I remember one time I had a crush, and she had a problem. She needed her sink fixed. I don't know anything about sinks. But I wasn't gonna tell her that. I had the whole thing worked out in my head. I was like, okay, look, I'm gonna look up online everything about sinks. I'm gonna get in there, I'm gonna fix the sink, and then she'll be so grateful she'll let me take her out to dinner. This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. She's gonna tell our grandkids that your daddy fixes sinks, and I'm gonna lean away from my grandkids and be like, you know what I mean? And so sure enough, I went over to her apartment, and I even bought tools. Tags were still on all the tools. I was trying to convince her that's like the style. You know, when you really work with tools like that, it's like Tim's. You just leave the tag on, let people know. I got this from Lowe's. And so then I open the cabinets and get under the sink, and she was right. There's a problem. This looks very bad. It looked like whoever did it before me also didn't know what they were doing, because there's all this like plumber's tape everywhere, and it looked like an entire system. Like it was so confusing because it made me think maybe I don't know how sinks work. I was expecting to get under there and see like one pipe, and I'm seeing like 12 routes. Turns out some of that was because she had a garbage disposal. So I'm laying there, and I'm like, okay. I'm out of my depth because everything I looked up online did not cover what to do in this situation. All I really took away from what I saw online was righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. But now I'm laying there, right? Now I'm laying there, and then she's standing over the sink, and she's like, "What's it looking like?" And in my head, I know I don't know what I'm doing, but in my head, there's just I know I shouldn't even be there, but in my head, listen, this is a thought I had in my head, but it to me, just personally, even if I did know what I was doing, I just got down here. Why are you rushing me? But because I don't know what I'm doing, now I'm panicked. I'm like, This doesn't make any sense. But I'm laying under the sink, and she's like, "What's it looking like?" I'm like, it's all here. That was never the concern. And so then I'm like, I need to buy myself some time. What do I do? And so then I grabbed one of the wrenches, and I just started banging the pipes. I was And so then I'm laying there, and I did it for way too long. I did it for like 6 minutes straight, because I just kept thinking, like, let me look, and like, it's easy enough to bang stuff while I look at stuff and everything. And then, finally, I noticed in all the banging that one of the bolts, I don't even know what it's called, but basically it was loose. It was loose. And so I was like, "Ooh, maybe this is it. Maybe I found it by accident, but still maybe. Let me go ahead and tighten it, see what happens." And so I tightened it up, and then put on my best wannabe plumber voice. It's like, "Go ahead and try it." And so she turned the sink on, and the water came out like perfect. The water came out perfect from the faucet. It also came out perfect completely under the sink. I was drowning immediately. She couldn't even hear me say turn it off, because I was like, "Oh, no, performing only works so well." It's very difficult to get to the bottom of the root problem, because it feels like so many of these problems are that these guys that, make no mistake, are grifters. These guys identify real problems. They identify real feelings, and they manipulate it just in time to bring these young men in, but actually give them nothing. Because if you're a young man right now, I'm very blessed. I'm incredibly blessed that I grew up in the time that I grew up in. I'm a millennial, and so when I was a kid, I had some internet. I had almost like a half and half experience, because I remember doing those sandlot type baseball games with your friends where you're playing in the street and a car comes, you have to break up the game for a bit, and then you resume, and then you argue about what a home run really is. But then I also remember when the internet started to take off, and how crazy it was. You would send each other emails, like what we see as shares now of memes and of fun little short videos of reels. That used to be an email that you got from your friend of a car flipping 7 times. And then the driver just getting out. And you're like, this is crazy, right? This is crazy. But we didn't even fully understand this internet that had been not just given to us, like really thrust upon us. And so I can't imagine what it's like to be a young man now, where you're drowning in it. I felt like I was drowning in it by the time I was even like a young adult. I was like, some of the things that I don't want to think about or talk about or see are just everywhere, all the time. Imagine if you're so young, you're so impressionable to the point where you think that this stuff is life. It's terrifying. I grew up on internet that even to this day I don't understand. When I got the internet, it was on CD. To this day, I don't know how that worked. What is on the CD? What is that? Because I thought you had to have, you would just get, okay, this is gonna be very annoying to explain, but some of you are young and this is gonna sound fake, but you used to get internet. Okay, you would get an offer in the mail. They would mail you internet. You would open the mail and it would be internet in the mail, but it would be a CD. A CD. A compact disc would have the internet on it. And then you would take it home, you'd be like, oh, the internet. Or you'd already be at home because it came in the mail. You'd be like, oh, the internet. And then you would put it in the computer. And for whatever reason, you got like 30 hours of internet, which was a lot back then. I know y'all use it up in a day today, but 30 hours used to be a lot of internet. And you would surf the web. It was called surfing. We had a name for the World Wide Web. That's where the www comes from. Do you want to hear any other facts that sound like they're from the Middle Ages? Yeah, you used to get internet from the disc, and then you would put the internet in the computer, and then you would have internet. You know what's devastating is I was actually helping my mom move a while back, and we were moving just all this junk and all these different boxes, and I found one of the discs. I was like, wait, is there still internet in it? Now I just get mine from the hotel, but like, I wonder if I put the disc in while I'm connected to Wi-Fi, will that be super internet? Okay, basically, for reasons I cannot explain, but I'll try to right now. In case you're like, because some of y'all look young in a way that's annoying. You know what I mean? Like, your skin all good and everything. It's like, you're like, what's sciatica? Like, okay, back in the day, I know I can't do this every time I do comedy, but it keeps popping up. So back in the day, there was internet in the world, but everyone didn't always have it. And there was like a modem and a router. I know today they're like the same thing, but back in the day, you had a modem and a router. I don't know what that had to do with the internet, but you had to have a modem and a router. So you had to have the modem to be like, and then you had to have the router to be like, and then you would mix those two together, and then internet would be on your screen. But the internet would be slow. Like the internet would, like, so you wanted to, let's say you were trying to, let's say you were trying to look for an image on like, Google Images wasn't even. I hate remembering before Google images. But yeah, you would be on another site like Dogpile or Ask Jeeves or Yahoo, back when Yahoo, okay. So Yahoo used to mean something. I know that now Yahoo, because now these young people are in the workforce and there are certain emails where you can see in their eyes. People 25 and under look at you like you are mummified. If you say at hotmail.com, at yahoo.com, or like yourname.net. Like, Yahoo used to be something. Anyway, you would be online and Google was too young. Google was like goo. It just wasn't doing what it does today. And so you had to go to these different sites. Sometimes the site didn't even have what you want, so you had to go to another site. It was almost like talking to people. Because you had to be like, you would ask Jeeves, what is it? Jeeves, tell me. And then Jeeves, depending on the question, Jeeves would be like, I don't know, sir. Like, and then you would have to go to like dogpile.com, and then you went to Dogpile, and then those search results, the dog would just be like, arr? And then you had to go to Yahoo, and when you went to Yahoo, that was when you were like, oh, okay, here's the thing I was looking for. So then you would try to, let's say like download a picture, or even just go to a screen with a picture on it. The router and the modem would work together. They would rub up against each other and make it real warm so that you got internet, because I think internet needs heat. And so the picture, it was usually top to bottom. So I can't do it exactly, but it would usually be top to bottom. But I'll do the opposite just so you see what I'm talking about. You would go to the web page of the picture that you wanted. And I know that now when you print something, it just spits it out. But printers used to print per letter. They used to be like, like printers. Back in the 90s, a printer had to like sound it out. Like you would type something, and then you would hit print, and the printer would be like, a whole page? Printers reacted like I reacted to homework. I'd be like, single spaced? And the printer was really working the way typewriters work, where it was a typewriter. We used to need a letter-to-letter relationship with paper. And you would type on a typewriter the way you do on a keyboard, and it would use all your fingers, not just the thumbs. And it would punch ink in the shape of the letter that you needed to, but then as the typewriter went, it was helping you out because it would move down the line of the page so that you weren't just like typing all the same letters in the same spot. And then at the end, it would be like, ding! And that would just let you know, hey, this line about to run off the page. And so then you would slap it. You'd be like, thank you. You move it on over. You know, some people were very dainty with it. Some people were like, ding! But like, if you were having fun, right? And a printer used to work the same way. A printer used to be like, because it was trying to do it as fast as possible and it was in a panic. It would spit out. Well, now when you went to a web page that had a picture on it, it would work a lot like that, where the image was coming across very slowly, and then it would just, little by little, you would see the image that you were looking for, and about halfway down the page, you'd be like, I think I went to the wrong page. This is not even... This isn't what I wanted at all, actually. But the way it would creep, it would be so little at a time. And then it would freeze. And you're like, this has been 20 minutes of my life. So then, I only had enough internet to like barely get online. I would go on forums and I'd do message boards and stuff like that. But I think the thing that really gets to me is that being online now is very difficult, whether you're on social or not. Being online for your job or being online also for your entertainment, so many of your hours are put into this thing. And sometimes we lose track of how it's affecting us. We think that we're choosing everything. And we never stop to think that maybe some of this is taking us for a ride, especially when you're a kid. Because I fully understand the criticisms of the documentary that it talks about these men and their backstory. It does a lot of work, some people have said, to almost normalize and humanize them to a level where they aren't as culpable for their actions. Even though they are saying really demonizing things about their own work in the documentary, it glosses over, the girls and women affected by not just their online behavior, but how they affect these young men who then go out into the world acting the way that they act to try to get what they have. Because you watch these manosphere guys, and some of them are very, very popular. Some of them are trying to be popular, but they have pretty similar messaging. The messaging is that the world is unfair. The world doesn't care about you. You don't have value. You have to create your own value. And no one will want you, not for companionship or friendship, unless you make something of yourself. And I can teach you how to make something of yourself. No one's going to come save you. No one's going to come help you. But I care about you. That's why I'm going to help you become a real man, a high value man. They love talking about high value, right? Make you a high value man. And what they usually end up doing is selling courses. They sell these courses, whether it's to work out, whether it's investing, whatever it is. They sell business courses, start a business. There's one dude who sells courses on how to make courses. And I was like, I've never seen a more pyramid-shaped business model. This one is sharp, it's so pyramid. You will cut yourself on it. Oh. And you see these young men feed into it. You see them really accept what these people are saying because they have so much certainty. They have a deep amount, at least it seems, certainty in what they're saying. And they have money. And they have women in all their videos. They must have a bunch of girlfriends, or some of them have wives and a girlfriend. And they're ripped too. If you're a young, skinny kid like I was, you might see them and be like, well, that's everything wrapped into one. He has companionship. He has a bunch of friends. He has a bunch of money. He goes to parties. Women like him. And this is a thing that I genuinely, obviously every man from beginning of time grows up with certain levels of misogyny around him, but I had never had to deal with a grifter like this. Not this exact thing. That's tough. The closest I came to really having to deal with this sort of thing was when, once again, I was very skinny. It was concerning. It's just, I did not wear shorts. It was... And I went to the store and I was like, you know what I need? Protein. That's what'll do it. That's what I've been missing this whole time, I think. If I get enough protein, I'll be a real boy. No, I just gotta pack the protein on. If I drink all the protein, it was right there. I can't believe I didn't buy it sooner. And so I bought this protein. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I have no idea what I bought. It was just like, mass gainer X7. And I was like, all right, well, if I'm 7 times the size that I am now, I think I'll be like regular size. I was very skinny. I didn't even like to clap for fear of sparks. I was very skinny. And so I took the big, huge jug of protein home, right? And it was huge. It was like, it really was, I'm ashamed to say, a bit of a workout getting it home. Because it was so big, because in my head I was like, I'm gonna take double the serving size every day, and I'm gonna need to do that for like a year, because you can't build muscle overnight. And so let me get the biggest one they have. I took the biggest one that they had at the store, and so I'm bringing it home. I sit it down, and I'm like, okay, this is it, a new life, because I already did the workouts, and I'm very sore, and you need the protein to get to the muscle to repair it. So, okay, here we go. And then I went to try to open. I can't tell you how demoralizing it is to think that your new life is on the other side of this jug, where you'll be a big, strong man, but you just got to open it. It felt like a Greek tragedy trying to open because the lid, first of all, lid huge, but it's also not, okay, all right. The lid was like so big, because once again, I brought the whole thing. I went and got a spoon. I was over here hitting the spoon again. I went and got boiling hot water to pour on the edge, because that's worked on pickle jars before. I about tore my back opening this lid. I open it up, dust in the air. It smells terrible. In my head, I'm like, did I accidentally buy the sulfur? And so then, take the scooper. The scooper was the size of my fist. You take the scooper, and every milkshake should have 2 scoops in it if you want massive gains. So I put 2 fistfuls of sand in this water, because I was like, I'm not gonna waste this on a smoothie. There's no way this is gonna mix with a smoothie. It was cement. And so then I stirred as best as I could until it was just a sludge. And then I drank it. And I laid there thinking, okay, just do that for the rest of my life and I'll be happy. Just do that for the rest of my life and I'll be fine, I'll be happy. You know, because I'll eventually, the muscle's gotta come, the protein's in there. I already did the workout, so like I can't be full of protein and working out and just stay the same. That's not possible. And plus, I'm drinking Mass Gainer 7X out of a vat big enough to sit on. I woke up in the middle of the night with a stomach that There's no other way to describe it except to say, I looked pregnant. This thing had given me the worst gas of my life. And I was just rolling around in pain and everything. And I was like, man, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I feel so sick. And so I decided the next day I'm gonna work out, but I'm not gonna do 2 scoops. I'm gonna do 3 so I can get this over with. You know what I mean? Like, I can't live like this the rest of my life. Let's hurry up and get these gains in now. I can't keep doing this every night. This just... And I was not gaining. I was not gaining at all. I was just squatting and farting. I wasn't gaining any weight. How will I ever be happy? I don't have the muscles that I want. I'm broke. I'm buying Mass Gainer 7 from the discount store. This is terrible. And then one day, I don't even know if I was looking at a magazine or if I had passed by a different store, but I saw the same model from Mass Gainer 7X on a different product. And I was like, wait, is he saying that he took that? I had never considered in this entire time that the people that they put on these products are just models. That they were already ripped. They didn't use this thing. They didn't use this thing to get fit at all. They were already like torn. And then a week later, I found out about Photoshop. I felt even more betrayed. I was like, wait, are the abs even there? And that's what I think a lot of these young men go through. Because they think that these models, these systems, these courses that these men have created is actually what got them their success. Meanwhile, half of them are renting. They don't own anything. And all they're doing is using your money. They're using your money to look rich. They're using your money to rent the Lambo. They're using your money to hire women to hang around them. I'm not saying none of them have girlfriends and wives. I'm just saying that some of these people are just there because it's like, hey, he was willing to pay me a little bit for my time, hang out, act like I'm with him. And it's tough because how do you expect this kid to understand what a fraud this person is? Meanwhile, never mind all the harm that's being done to girls and women, not just from the rhetoric, but like actually going out, taking this advice from like confidence coaches, dating coaches and everything, and applying it in the real world. That's really ruining someone else's day, someone else's life, ruining real relationships. And these people take no responsibility for it. When you ask them up front, straight up, what do you think about the people who actually take everything that you're saying? They don't think it's a troll. They don't think that you're joking. It's not satire to them. They're young men that want the things you say you can get them, and then they act the way that you act in their everyday life around the people that they know. What do you think of that? And all these guys will say, well, it's the parents' responsibility. They shouldn't even be watching me. Oh. But meanwhile, you're doing what you're doing, and you're making money off of them. Like trying to quit manosphere stuff for a young man is, I can see how it's enticing because they're promising you everything. It's a lot like having a pimp. No, it's a lot like having a pimp because they take your money. And they promise you the world, but they don't really give you anything. And they tell you that they care about you, and they really don't. And you can tell from the way that they treat you. and they try to control you. And all they're really concerned about is what you do for them. And so it takes a real community around you. I think community is what some of those boys are seeking, even if they don't say it exactly like that. You'll find that like half of them, even the influencers, but also the young men they influence, half of them barely believe the stuff they say. They just like having other guys around. They just like having some semblance of friendship, you know? And it takes a relentless amount of addressing to get someone to break away from something like that. You know, because when you're in the middle of being indoctrinated, you don't really feel indoctrinated. You feel at home. That's the scariest part about it. But I hope that more and more people can see, whether it's from the documentary or in everyday life, that these guys are not selling anything worthwhile. And they actually aren't even selling anything that they really live by. Because once again, when you talk to the people in their lives, they're like, oh, he's a different guy in front of the cameras than he is at home. So all these people are pretending to be a guy that real young men are chasing to have a life that nobody has. You watch the documentary, and I know it's about the manosphere, so you have to talk about the men who are part of the manosphere, and you have to talk about the men who are influenced by it. But it still has the general issue of always focusing on the person that does the damage rather than the people that are affected by their damage. You know? Yeah, and I think that for me, when I look at some of these people, I see a version of myself that could have gone another way if I had been born in a different time. If I didn't understand and I didn't have people around me that were those mentors, because one of the saddest bits of irony is that some of the top dogs of this manosphere that are telling young boys how to be men had no man in their life, or they had an abusive one. And so you're seeing cycles of damage become spirals where every rung is like bigger than the one that came before it. And because it's easy to just attack one person as a charlatan, but then overall, a lot of them are saying some of the same things. And so even if they fall out of favor with one of them, there's still like 9 guys to take their place. It's gotta be tough, but it's important to learn how to adapt and open your mind up so that one day you can push them down a hill. Y'all been amazing. Thanks so much. I
appreciate y'all. This is a beautiful, beautiful time of year. This is my favorite time of year because it's so fresh. I could do anything. I could really be anybody so far, you know? And by January 10th, I'm like, I'm me. Never mind, I had a lot of plans, but a week and a half. It's so early in the year, it's almost weird if you've already had a bad day. You know what I mean? But this is New York, so you know somebody has. I was on a bus on January 2nd and just heard a guy go, fuck, just to himself. I don't know what was going on in his life, but January 2nd, he was like, it's over. That's a wrap. Oh, it's crazy. I also love this time of year because it's the last little bit of runoff where you're still trying to return Christmas presents. Like the bad ones. Like you on the phone with customer service, like, no, I have the receipt, please. Like it's. And this is the thing. A lot of people give gifts and everything, but they don't know if they gave a good gift to the person, especially if they don't know them well, right? And my thing is, this is how you tell if it's a good gift in this present day we live in. If you didn't get a gift for someone from a store that was looted in 2020, that's not a good gift. I'm not gonna lie. Do you know what I mean? It's a very easy metric now because, look, I'm just saying, everything's free when we looting. And there are brands that know that they didn't get touched. Like, honestly, if I was a shop owner, I would be embarrassed if I showed up the morning after a riot and I get to my store, Nike store ransacked, Louis Vuitton store unrecognizable, and then my store pristine, not even broken glass. I'd be like, I gotta hang it up. I didn't know it would be like this. Can I burn it down and say it was part of the riot? Cause this is a shame. I remember that was a very specific time. This is my favorite thing about any riot that happened in the U.S. in 2020. There were some stores that boarded up that really didn't need to bother. Like, nobody talks about that, but there are a couple places that were like, oh, we gotta batten down the hatches. Like, no, you really don't, I promise. Nobody is checking for you, okay? There were brands that were feeling themselves. Like, I don't know if you remember this, but you can look this up. This is a real thing that happened. In 2020, during the protests, there were Sweet Greens that boarded up in preparation. Sweet Green. I want to meet the person who made the decision. I want to meet the person who was like, all right, it might get crazy out here in Seattle. And you know it when it gets crazy. You know what niggas love is arugula. So we got to hold it down, all right? Got to protect the inventory, okay? Oh, no, you don't need to bother. You know, I said all that to say if you got me a Christmas present this year, a gift card from Sweet Green, you fucked up. That wasn't the move. You bought me grass. Have y'all been watching that Squid game show? Okay, if you haven't watched it, then genuinely, I'm begging you, don't watch it. Okay, if you don't know what Squid Game is as a show, Squid Game, the show is a Korean drama, all right? It's probably one of the best TV shows that we have that fully encapsulates the idea of capitalism and what we do to each other when we're lacking, when we have need, and when there's literal money floating over our heads, the links that will go, right? And even the show becoming a show is a Cinderella story because the guy that wrote it, he pitched it around the world for 10 years and nobody wanted it. Finally, Netflix bought it. They put it up on their platform. It became an international sensation. There's games, there's toys, there's everything. And then they made the game show, which is weird. That's pretty odd, because that means they also watched the show and they saw what a commentary was on the human psyche when it comes to money, when it comes to access and everything. And then they were like, yeah. We should do that. Yes, we should do that. Let's round up these pores and make them battle it out. We'll get 400 of the saddest stories you've ever heard in your fucking life. It's insane. And this is the other reason that I'm begging you not to watch it, okay? In the show Squid Game, the Korean drama, when you lose, you die. In the game show, when you lose, a pack goes off. It explodes on you, and it's black. It's not red. It's ink. Squid Game, very clever. And it explodes, but they still make the people fall like they died. And it feels like they test running killing a person in front of us. Do you know what I mean? Because when I was watching the show, the first person lost and then they fell. And I was like, that's a little dramatic. All right. And then 12 more people fell. And I was like, wait, are they really killing people on my TV right now? Because if they are, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Because they already shot the show and I'm at home. But can we make sure that for season 2, they don't kill anybody? Because I'm going to finish the show. It's compelling. But it's just a weird thing. I don't know. It's very unsettling because they make all these people tell the saddest parts of their life and they cut to them in the show and you know they're not going to win. Why are you telling me this is a physical American Idol? Why are you telling me the sad story and you know they're not going to get far? That's terrible. It would be a dude with the biggest tearjerker you could ever imagine. He's like, I just want to bring money back home from my cousin. He's got he's got cancer herpes, and he doesn't have a real house. He got half a house, so I want to pay for him to finish his house because he get rained on anytime it rains sideways a little bit. And so I just want to have a full roof for him to be under, not half a roof, because he really got like half an umbrella over his head right now. And so I just want to do something nice for him because he donated a bunch of his bones to orphans. And so he already didn't have a good life to begin with. And then they zoom out of the person playing the game, and you see he's the shortest man that's ever lived. You're like, he's not going to get far at all. Physical limitations alone. Why are you getting me attached to his story? Or even worse, they'll interview like a smart woman, and you'll be like, they not going to let her get far at all. She gonna slip up and say a big word in front of him, and the dumbs are gonna jump on her. She gonna say one of those encyclopedia words that be like, get her out. She look like she can do puzzles. No, so jarred. Are y'all also following this Gypsy Rose thing? Okay. In case you don't know anything about Gypsy Rose, I'll try to bring you up to speed as quickly as possible. Gypsy Rose is a young woman, used to be girl. She was a girl when all this happened. Her mom has Munchausen by proxy, so her mom convinced her she was sick, convinced everyone else she was sick, told people she was sick, raised money for her because she was so sick. So she was like GoFundMe before GoFundMe, right? And so she was like raising all this money and everything. Then Gypsy realizes, hey, I'm not as sick as you're making me out to be. Around the same time that this happens, right? She makes a friend online. They start dating. That becomes her boyfriend, okay? And then she tells her boyfriend, you need to kill my mom so we can be together. I was not in the room when this conversation happened. But the way that I think it went was Gypsy gets close to this person and is like, you're going to have to kill my mom so we can be together. And then he said, I was planning on killing somebody anyway. Because it took so little convincing. This man is clearly out of his mind, right? Killing a mom should be several conversations. You should have to wear me down to kill your mom. If you tell someone, I need you to kill my mom so we can be together, and they go, yup, you are also in danger. That is absolute insanity. He said yes so quick. That's the reddest flag there is. He said it so quick. Once again, I was not in the room, but he agreed to it so fast. I'm pretty sure he finished her sentence. I'm pretty sure she was like, hey, I need you to. He's like, kill your mama, I got it. And she was like, I was going to say pass the remote, but okay. And so then that's what happens. They meet up, and then he kills the mom, and then they get caught immediately. They get caught so fast. I was genuinely disappointed in them. I was like, you couldn't make it a day. You got caught. They got caught so insanely quickly. And so then they're not together anymore because then they flipped on each other and everything. And it's hard to stay together when you first 48'd each other. Like, but you just immediately like, it was his crazy ass. I said it at once and he did it. And so then Gypsy got way less time than him, and she got out. She's out now. She got like 7 years. He got life because I'm pretty sure she only had to remind him once. I'm pretty sure she only had to be like, hey, that thing about killing your mama, yeah, it's on my calendar. All right. And look, I'm just saying, the main thing that they did wrong, besides killing a person, the main thing that they did wrong is that they didn't really understand the internet the way we don't really understand the internet. So all they did was have the most incriminating conversations online, right? I'm pretty sure they Skyped at one point. I was like, can you stop doing recordable stuff? And so then she gets out, and I saw like a TikTok of her, wishing everybody well, thanking everyone for wishing her well and everything, saying Happy New Year's. And then she said something interesting to me. She was like, I'm spending New Year's with my dad, my stepmom, and my husband. I was like, husband? And I was just shocked. I didn't know she had a husband. So I looked into it, and she had met somebody, and they got married in 2022. And I looked him up. Have y'all seen the husband? Yeah. Y'all seen? Okay. That man looks more like the Kevin James meme than Kevin James. I was genuinely blown away. There's a picture of him with Gypsy Rose where he's like, And it's not even a diss. That's just his swag. Is that like cheeky, you know, everything. And then apparently some people were coming for him online for some weird reason. I have no idea. And then Gypsy came to his defense, and she was like, "It's okay, baby. They're just jealous because the D is fire." You know what? I'm glad you had a happy ending. I'm glad you're okay.
Mira,